Okay guys, firstly, sorry, this is all selfie mode, so my head's going to look kind of slim. It's just a tiny little lens right there. It's Gareth Tinsley. Yeah, so this is BBQ. This is one-on-one basic tip that, you probably already know, probably teaching you to suck eggs. But anyway, so what it is once you've got to the flame stage, okay, and barbecues is disposable, and that's the flame stage there, you want to get the burgers on straight away. My advice is to get cheapo burgers, like, it doesn't even matter if they're frozen. So this is my frozen burgers there. I'm going to get a couple more on here. Just a couple more burgers on. So they're like really cheapo, just they're not even that good. I mean, they're not bad. Onions in there already. So a couple of quid from the shop. My preference is these bird's eye ones. Usually they're on some kind of sale. The reason is they've got a lot of fat. I don't know if they've got a percentage here.
WhatsApp message.
You can see that. You can probably see that better than me and check out the focus is terrible on this thing. Hopefully read that about there. See, obviously on my thumb, low fat, and what that does, I'm just going to use my finger there, excuse me, I'm going to burn off anyway. But it's actually on the coals, fire it up and give you a really even spread of heat. Once you get to the white hot stage, let's keep looking at my own preview there. Once you get to the white hot stage, that's when you want to get your proper meat on. So obviously with quality burgers. But to be honest, these come out pretty thin and pretty small, but they're usually quite tasty. And that again is your bird's eye. For beef burgers with onion, it does say quarter pounder, and as I say, they're usually a couple of quid. Freezer aisle burgers, freezer aisle, and as you can see, getting the heat. That's nice. That's a nice big flame. With that flame, if you want it a bit more crispy on the outside, yeah, you can see the ones at the back there getting a bit on for probably about 5 minutes. And yeah, if you want them a bit crispy on the edge, some people do. That's actually getting fairly crispy down there. The trick is to get it on when you've got the flames. White hot is what you want for a proper nice cook and a bit longer. So especially if you say pork or chicken, if you want something that's got, you're going to need a bit extra time. Sorry, I'm just just bought some utensils because I'm in Cornwall right now. Away from gear. But yeah, if you want that crispiness, you're going to need a bit more heat. People often think, oh, there's no flames. People often go, there's no flames, it's not cooking. That is like mistake number one. Once, essentially white hot, you can see that that white on the outside, and our camera will pick up sort of the infrared heat coming off with like a purple glow, and that's perfect. So no flames right now, and that's basically cooking temperature. I mean, you can see if you look at the coals, you've got a fairly even white spread, and if I was to put my hand down there, and I'll just show you, there's basically a really nice even low heat. That heat giving obviously more smoke than I want, considering there's like people around, but there's not much shelter here, and it's a bit windy out there in the garden today. It's Cornwall, so yeah, what can you do? Just look around. I have tried to clear of, but make do with what you got. I'm not home with my own Barbie, so that's okay. Hopefully I'll complain if there's any problems. But yeah, so now I've got nice heat. Obviously burgers, that's your fatty burgers. If it's low like that, it's still too cool. Your fatty burgers, I'll flip them over, and that will basically just all the fat on the legs. One just sort of dripping off on the side. Flip them over, all that will run off. You get the smoke, and you can sometimes even, I've done it before, you can ignite the smoke itself, and it flares up again. So don't worry too much if you think, oh, it's gone out. As long as it's got that heat still and you can feel it, sometimes see the glowing embers. The second thing is, if you're having trouble getting it started, the simplest thing is, and I had a mate back at home who was struggling with this. I got my little rotary blower. It's air. You want to get down there. Just. I know it sounds unhygienic. You want to blow on it, blow on the coals. Obviously if you haven't got that white hot bit of heat, you want to do it quickly. You want to get some firelighters. It's a bit petrochemical, whatever. It gives it a bit of a funny smell. And you want to wait till it's burnt off before you start cooking. You don't want to give your visitors, you guess any strange flavours. And sorry, this is a bit weird. I don't have a selfie stick, so I'm doing this at arm's length there. It's a bit odd, but yeah. So that's basically basic tips. Obviously, let's flip these now. So, and the other thing is, don't worry about keeping your tools too clean. I mean, it's nice to clean them every time, and that's a twisty tie and new things. But at the end of the day, you can stick them on the fire, and we're going to get pretty much cauterized. So you're talking a couple of 500 degrees, whatever. It's, you know what I mean? Like a bit of dirt, a bit of crusty stuff from last time you grilled. It's not in the wood. It's another tip I've heard, especially if you've got a more permanent barbecue, is oil things, just a light layer of oil. It doesn't really matter what, vegetable oil, cheapo, it's not critical. Just on your tools, on your grill. Obviously this is just a disposable barbecue, but and that will really help. I'm going to flip these over now, and you might see the smoke, and like literally sometimes you can ignite that, and it's sizzling, and that is a nice char on the outside. Beautiful. Obviously these front ones, not quite ready to flip. You can see that's not really, that's only been on there a little bit, and there you go, there's the smoke. That's the oil, that's the fat dripping off. So I could really do with blowing on that a bit, to get the heat back up a bit more flame is the one. Obviously that's all my fatty burgers, so I might give that a blow. Don't worry if they get a bit of char on them, a bit of charcoal, a bit of ash from the fire. Some people say it adds to the taste. As I say, these cheapo burgers, so the first round you do, I quite often eat these. Sometimes you give them to Matt, and I'm sorry Matt, we have I have done that to you. First burgers off, which usually don't, they're not the greatest, but yeah, you're hungry and you ate it, to be fair, and you seemed to like it. It was very well charred, so I don't think I'm sorry, like it's not my ideal it's not the ideal situation, but awkward. Like you seem to like it, to be fair. Maybe you didn't. I'm sure we gave you beer and enough ketchup, and that dodgy shot, mate. What was that about? That was horrible, and I threw up. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about getting like that. It was just funny. Just barbecue around Matt's. I think it might have been his birthday. I forfeited for some reason. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Barbecue 101. Basic stuff. It's really simple. I love outdoor fire. Nikki's much better at the indoor fires. Me, like my accelerants. This was a little baggie, like the instant one-use baggies. You get pre-wrapped. Just set the paper on fire and the whole thing comes up. It's a really quick and lazy way. This is obviously lumpwood charcoal. I don't know if you can see. I think it's the best. You can get briquettes, but they find they get too ashy too quickly, and you can lose the heat real quick. So lumpwood. I always go for lumpwood. Oil as well. If you haven't got any other accelerants, it's really strange, but paper to start it off, sort of, you act as a wick, and some oil. It'll get real smoky, but it'll give you a real nice fire. I've sometimes dumped oil down the bottom of the barbie and just, yeah, it's not ideal, and a bit messy, but if that's all you've got, just a bit of oil kind of works. I'd say messy, but anyway, I better get on. There's a turbojet lighter that, and that's on max. It works for about 10 minutes, but kind of nice. Double jet. That's the trouble. It's got, yeah. I don't know. I prefer the Torjet ones. They're the good ones. Anyway, catch you later.